All right, I got a 9mm gel test for you here today. These are Underwood 147 grain Hardcast plus P, advertising 1100 feet per second. No doubt out of a longer barreled pistol than this. This will be kind of a worst case scenario test. I don't think anyone's ever going to run 147 grain Hardcast out of a micro, so I'd imagine the smallest they're ever going to try it out of, or actually carry it in, whether it be for concealed carry in the city. I don't think I'd really use Hardcast for that, or just like out in the woods for black bear, cougar protection, or what have you. I don't think anyone's going to carry it in a micro, so this is probably the smallest I'm going to carry it in. This is a Taurus G2. It's the old school PT 111, 3.2 inch barrel. Most guys are going to carry something like this out of a full size with a 4-inch or longer barrel, but I'm going to put it through this subcompact today and see what it does. So whatever it does here out of the subcompact today, you can expect even better results from a larger pistol with a longer barrel that's going to give a higher velocity, because we're definitely going to be coming in at less than 1100 there. Going to Knox 10% ballistic gelatin, temperature controlled as always. It's pretty freaking cold and windy out here today. It's like barely 40. BB calibration coming in at 3.5 inches today, so we are in perfect calibration there for 10% ballistic gelatin. This is about a 12-inch block. I'll have another one set up behind it. There she is over there. I'm going to shoot it in the bear block first, and then I have kind of like a little barrier test for it I'm going to do as well, so stay tuned for that. Alright, so come into the right side first, bear block, and then we'll do the left when I throw up my barrier, which I'll show you in just a second after this shot. So again, these are about 12-inch blocks, so clear the back, 24. And yep, right out the back, just like I thought. And I really don't think my barrier is going to stop it either, but that's kind of the test. That's the whole point of Hardcast, is that you get real good penetration. And then because of that flat nose, it still does a lot more damage than an FMJ, because it's like the difference of like doing a back smacker in a pool of water instead of diving in head first with your hands out. So it does more damage than an FMJ, and then you get really deep penetration compared to FMJ as well. I've actually shot FMJ into these blocks when they were mixed a little thick. Instead of 10%, they were like 20%, and I was catching the FMJ. I'm not sure if it was 10% if I would have caught an FMJ. Kind of depends on if it tumbles or yaws or not, but anyways, as most as you know who's watching this video, Hardcast gives you more penetration. That's why people carry them for bear, and then that flat nose gives you a decent amount of damage too, even though it's not an expanding bullet. So I want to see how it does to this barrier, especially only being a 9mm instead of a 40 or a 45 with a 200 plus grain Hardcast bullet. I still think it's going to go all the way, but let me show you what I have devised up here. All right, so I actually flipped this so I can get this set up better, but here's what I'm going to do. 16 layers of denim, not the typical 4 that you see. 16 plus 2 of these, I believe it's it's half-inch, 2 of these half-inch plywood here. And I actually flipped these, so we're still going to come in on the right side. I flipped these so the angle of the block here, it'll kind of lean. I'm having a heck of an issue in this wind, so it's probably going to fall over on me like 10 times before I finally get to shoot it. But so there's the view from underneath, because we flipped both these upside down now. So I'm going to try to get this set up in this dang wind and get this shot. So 16 layers of denim and 2 half-inch plywood. Well, I screwed that shot a little. Hopefully it's okay. So there's our impact there, a little low. There's the second board that was behind it. Seeing all the denim with the crap drug through it. There's our shot. Okay, we're all right. All the way through. So yeah, I was worried it was too low and might have hit the table, but no. So out the back, now I'm going to try something slightly different. Alright, so now if I can get this to stay up long enough, All I did was I just moved that second board in between the two blocks there, because why not, right? Figures, screwed that shot. I was trying not to hit this one and came in the side there and then just barely nicked the board there. Let me set this up, try again. So, missed the previous hole. Got the second board. And yep. Right out the back, no problem. So what I'm going to do now, 115 grain hollow point. This is an all copper TAC XP hollow point, but we'll do the same thing with this now. And you'll see how a traditional hollow point compares to those Hardcasts there as far as penetration goes. Even if this thing doesn't expand, which I'm pretty sure it will, because these TAC XPs are real good at expanding, but even if it didn't expand, it's still not going to exit the block. But especially with expansion, which I believe and hope we're going to get, you'll see how shallow it penetrates compared to that Hardcast. My back block's about to fall. It's teeter-totter. So that was actually a perfect shot right where I wanted it. Right there on the board. Oh. Interesting. It did not expand. I did not expect that. So it went right there. Kind of hard to see now because of all the wound channels that are already in there. Right there's that one. Oh, it missed the board. Okay, it nicked the bottom of it. And that was the end of it. So it nicked the very bottom of this, which pretty much stopped it. And then it slid under the second block here, just resting on the table. Yeah, there's a little tiny nick right there from it, and then nothing here. And it only gets that nick because of this. Oh, sorry, wasn't in frame there. Little tiny nick in the gel there because that hangs down further. Nothing beyond that. So yeah, it chipped the very bottom of that board and pretty much just slid right under the block. It's been one of those days. Just slid against the table and stopped right there. So interesting. Those did not expand through wood. Now those should expand beautifully through denim. I wasn't really going to do a gel test of these because I already tested. This is the Barnes TAC XP bullet, and I already tested this previously in the actual Barnes packaging. So if you want to see that, I'll put a link to that in the description. But really, just go check out the 9mm gel test playlist. You see all the 9mm gel tests I've done this far. But I'm sure you guys are dying to see it, so I will flip this around. It should expand beautifully even through denim, but the wood obviously kept it from expanding, so I guess hard barriers are not going to let that expand. I'll spin it around here, put it right up the center through the denim. Maybe not 16 layers of denim. Most people harp at me even for the 4 layers, but we'll just we'll do the 4 layers of denim in this block. I'll spin it around so you guys can see what that does, and opens up. Since, like I said, some of you are probably going, man, I wish I could have seen what it did if he didn't shoot it through the wood. So I'll go ahead and do that for you, even though this is about the Hardcast. And I gotta say, I'm real impressed, even not just through the bear block, but through the barriers. These 147 grain Hardcasts, they're doing a lot of freaking damage for a non-expanding round. This would make a real good black bear defense load there. But all right, here's your 115 grain TAC XP bullet for those who would want to see it through 4 layers of denim, guys. All right, where we at here? Zoomed in too far. There's your entry there. Big old wound cavity. Where's my bullet? Not in this one. Oh, yeah, it is. It's right there. So, at the very bottom, but it didn't hit the very bottom till literally at that edge there. There's no split right here. So at the very last second, it just curved down. So had it not done that and touched the table, it might have went like another 1/4 inch, but and that's what you get with those. But does not like wood. All right, so yeah, these things, for what they're designed for, absolutely amazing. Full inch of plywood there, 16 layers of denim, still went 24 inches through both blocks. And no matter whether there was a barrier there or not, we did take the one in the bare gel. The wound channel is pretty impressive for a non-expanding bullet, so I definitely wouldn't hesitate to carry these for something, like I said, like black bear protection or something like that. And like I said, this is, you know, worst case scenario out of a little 3.2 inch barrel subcompact. So as I said, if you use them out of a full size, you're going to get even more velocity from the longer barrel, because your gunpowder has a longer burn time in the longer barrel, so you get a little more velocity. So you'll see a little more damage in the wound cavities there, and you'll get even more penetration. So but worst case scenario, if you're carrying 147 Hardcast, these Plus P by Underwood here, even in a subcompact, amazing results. So it would only be better with a full size. And as you saw there, 4 layers of denim, no barrier, traditional hollow point. We got 12 inches of penetration due to the expansion, because it causes drag. That's the whole point of the hollow points. But yeah, I mean, even if you compare that wound cavity, you can see there it is bigger, wider, as it should be, because you got a expanded bullet there. It dumps its energy. Plus it's a wider projectile going through the gel there. But with the Hardcasts, it's not bad considering it did not expand, and you get this cavity all the way through 12 inches. You get all that tearing instead of just a few inches long like a traditional hollow point. And then you can see even some of them, I believe that was the bare block perhaps, still doing a little bit of damage beyond 12 inches. But the first 12 inches of penetration with these things, man, the wound cavities is just pretty gnarly all the way through. It doesn't the damage that it's dealing doesn't really drop off until about the 11 or 12 inch mark. So even if you hit a big bone. So yeah, I'd say these things are more than adequate protection against like black bear or something like that, especially out of a full size. Sorry about the mic issues, it's because of the wind. Again, you guys should go check out the 9mm gel test playlist if you want to catch other 9mm gel tests that I've done. There's probably about 20 in there by now, something like that. If you want to get yourself any of the products you see me using in any of my videos, even this Nox gelatin here, link in the description. Target stand, paper targets I use, steel targets and more, linked in the description. Thanks for watching, and I hope to catch you on the next one. For anyone wondering about the expansion on that TAC XP, .7215, 72 caliber. And obviously your weight retention on that guy is going to be pretty much 100%, so I'm just curious. I want to see how much harder those 147 grain Hardcasts hit my steel gong back there 20 yards compared to that 115 grain. I got the 115 grain first, and then that 147's under it. Gonna wait for it to stop swinging. Seems to ring it a little harder.